So the Golf is in the garage, which can only mean one thing. It's broken. So yeah, so I did the NCT, which is the same as an MOT and National Car Test. So failed it on a bottom ball joint, so on the front left passenger side. In this video, it's going to be how to install it. So first step is to jack up your ride. Next, undo the nuts. So now with the wheel removed, we can give everything a quick look over. Seems to be a lot of stones. Don't know what that's all about, but hey, few leaves, it's grand. Okay, so I'm running G60 discs, which is 280mm discs on standard GTI calipers from Mk1, and there's an adapter plate that shoves them out a little bit more. Personally, I've never had any problems with the brakes. I always thought the brakes were pretty good, especially on the Mk1 Golf. I'm told that they're meant to be bad or whatever, and you should upgrade your brake master cylinder, the servo, the whole lot. Go disc brakes in the rear. Personally, I don't think so. If you set drum brakes up correctly in the rear, they're just good. For the fronts, I do think upgrading the brakes is always good, because most of your weight is actually at the front, and when you brake, you'll actually nosedive a bit, so most of the braking is actually done on the front wheels. So I'm running 280mm discs with GTI calipers. I know there's a small bit that never actually gets touched by the pads, but so be it. Just inspecting them, seem grand. There's no problem. There's tiny lip, no lip at the top, tiny lip, bit of a lip just here. Can't really say much. Loads of meat on the pad, which is good, and on the inside pad, loads of meat there as well. There we go. Something's rattling. I wonder if it's these. Ah, that's what it is. Oh, that's this one here, yeah. So when I'm driving, I can hear something rattling, and I always thought it was the springs, but springs are actually grand. Discs, they're on tight, like the captive nut is here, which stops the disc from rotating on the hub. The dust guard doesn't make any noise. I can't find anything else, so it has to be this. So that's what I'm hearing when I'm driving. Well, when I'm like sitting in traffic or like going at very slow speed, I can hear it. The rest of the time I never hear it. So that's just a case of, I think there's little clips or little springs that are meant to fit there. So we'll do that in a different video. Okay, so I failed the NCT on a ball joint, which is the bottom ball joint. So it's way off in there. I'm going to go underneath the car and just show it to you. Yep, another replacement one, so let's replace it. Okay, so let's open it up. So the package arrived. That's the bottom ball joint. Well, I hope it is anyway. Okay, let's open it up and see what I got. This better be the bottom ball joint or I'm in trouble. Yep, bottom ball joint. And do I get screws and nuts and bolts? Any hardware? Yes. Packet, I can feel nuts and bolts in that. Okay, brilliant. So on the very early ones, or on maybe the original ones, I don't know. The bottom ball joint is actually pot riveted or like hot riveted onto the wishbone. So that would suck. So I've done it before where you have to drill them out, and then you obviously replace them with new stuff that has nuts and bolts. So all the Mark IIs are like the nuts and bolts, but the Mark 1s, maybe the Derbies as well, and the Polos were riveted. Pain in the balls to change if you're kind of in a rush. You could get a drill and drill everything out. All that nonsense. But anyway, let's install this one into the hub at the bottom here, and see how we're getting on. That's the nut I have to remove. I've never removed one on the Mark 1 before. I've done loads of Mark 2s. This looks fairly rusty. The 3 nuts are just there. Well, it's a bit hard to... Maybe that's a better view. There you go. There's one somewhere off in there. Alright, there's 3 of them in there to remove. So... Okay, so now underneath the car, giving everything a squirt of WD-40. The nut up here is WD-40 on it. I've broken it loose with a breaker bar, and yeah, slowly undoing it. So I've cracked these 2 off. Last one now. Using a hammer. No point being half on the nut. No, that's just turning up there. So they're all probably turning, are they? Yep, they're all turning, right. So that's a 11. And the top is probably 11 as well. So I'll be back with a number 11. Okay, so the spanner now on the nut, or on the bolt, and it's down here, and then just keep turning it. Okay, it's going to come off. I don't know why Volkswagen gave them the treads so long, like half those treads would have done. But anyway. There we go. Okay, so who on earth designed this stupid thing? So they have, it's kind of V'd, like peace signed out, like V'd out either side. That's where obviously the ball joint goes. But how on earth are you meant to get your spanner in there? Because nothing it's so hard to grasp. So I've had to go in from the far side over here, go this way, nearly hammer the spanner onto it to grab it, and then undo it. And of course, being rusty, it was like really hot, and by the time I got it off, it was solid the whole way down. Same with this one. This was a pain as well. This was easier, slightly easier. It was there in the middle. You can see it touching the dust guard, like there's no room up there. And then the last one, the edges have wrung off it, so it's going to get chopped with the angle grinder or with the gas, or I have to get it off somehow. So I said, right, let's just ignore that one for the moment, working these 2. So this one is obviously hitting the dust guard, won't come off. This one here, I was like, okay, that's easy enough, just pop it up. It hits this. So I was like, okay, I'll take this out first. It now hits this. I think you have to take off your brakes in order to get this bolt out, to get this bolt out. It's like a Sudoku puzzle, or like one of those wooden box puzzles. So, yeah, that's annoying. So, loads of people I've seen on loads of different forums of people saying like we're putting in aftermarket parts or aftermarket brakes. I want bigger brakes. How do I join them to the hub? So this is what I have. It's like a double, I call it a wishbone. It looks like a just an ordinary bone. And you can see here, it's made in steel. And obviously you bolt this to your hub, and this then gets rejoined to your brake caliper. And I think there's a spacer in there as well. Yeah, there's a spacer in there. Where's it gone? It's there somewhere. There it is. So I don't know what the spacer is. I'm not going to go and measure it. I can't be arsed. But that's how you do it. Check out another video of mine somewhere in the description or whatever for putting big brakes onto a different car. I did it on the Corrado, and yeah. So that was done before I bought the car. So I didn't have to directly do it myself, but very nice little mod. And I don't know whether it's like bought off eBay or bought off somewhere else. The guy I bought the car off loved eBay, so it probably is off eBay. It gives you an idea of just the distance between, say it's about a bit of a finger there between, say, the two holes, and it's a nice wishbone goes around it. They probably just made it a mirror image, so it doesn't really matter which way you put it on. It'll still miss this bit here, and obviously it'll miss the drive shaft of the CV boot. So nice mod. So standard GTI brakes, G60 caliper, like off a G60 Corrado or VR6 Corrado, but obviously 4x100. It's 280mm, and that was the mod. Okay, time to go back and do that. Right, okay, I think this has to come off to get this off, to get this off, to get all of this out, to get the new one in. Right, okay. Okay, so I got the nut out, or the bolt out. One at the top had to be loosened to get the one at the bottom, to get this to slide up and out of the way. And I got the bolt out. That's the bolt out. That's the spacer that's in it. That goes up in there. Okay. Now to get, that's one nut out. Now to try and figure out how to get the next two out. Okay, so still have one left, and I just can't get it out. It's just hitting off the piece at the top. Well, it was anyway when I was hitting it. So what I did was, frustration never solves anything, but it does. So I got the hammer, hit it here, and starting to open up here. So hopefully it'll come down a bit more, and might release this, and then I can just pop everything out. And it's out. Okay. Oh look. So as much as I hate the NCT and didn't believe them, the guy, like, I do like when they fail my car. I know that sounds weird, but if you fail, at least they're only making your car more safe. And as much as I hate fixing the car, I do actually like driving it, and I like when nothing goes wrong. And even without using, so he didn't use the machine because it passed that, and it was a few months later he actually got around to doing this part of the underneath inspection, because the lifts weren't working at the time. And yeah, just by literally checking the car and checking it over, he is actually very good. As much as I don't want to say he is, but he is very good, and he found it. Yeah, so split. So I do have a replacement one, and yeah, the other thing is copper grease. Oh my gosh. If in doubt, put copper grease on everything, apart from your discs. But copper grease everything. It's so easy. Like, I've had ball joints where you literally have to set fire to them and burn them out. They're welded in. This one was covered in copper grease, and when I gave it a good few hits, it actually split just there. So delighted with that. Copper grease, definitely the new one's getting copper grease as well. So I think that's actually copper paste, but yeah, copper grease, copper paste, whatever you want, the spray on grease, whatever you got. Just don't use WD-40 because it dries out, where copper grease will stay kind of a nice liquid. See, look, that's even soft. I can smear it around. Okay, so got one of these with a boot working, everything. Oh yeah, look, there's, you can kind of start to hear it. So fair play to him to find it. I think he was just using a pry bar and he was just checking everything. And yeah, delight with that. Okay, so I am going to paint all of this up. It's going to be painted black. It'll probably all come off. I'll put it into the sandblaster, blast it all, and black hammerite it. But the NCT is on Thursday, so time to get fixing. There we go. So here's the parts. They came with new hardware. So that's the new nut and bolt versus the old nut and bolt, if I can take that off. So whoever probably either lost the hardware and just bought new hardware, and just went into the local shop and just bought it, because that's way too long. So I even knew when I seen this out, it was too long. So I correct hardware is going on. I have a new nut for it as well. I didn't get a new bolt, nut and bolt that goes up here, which is this one here. I didn't get a new one of those, so I don't really have time to be messing around, so just gonna have to reuse this, but I might change it afterwards when I'm painting everything. Okay, let's install this, pass the NCT, and worry about painting afterwards. So there you go, that's copper paste. And it's a spray can of copper grease as well. Copper grease, copper paste, it's all the same stuff. It's not electrical, it's just, that's what it's called copper grease. The advantage of the spray is you don't get it on your fingers. Okay. It's all smeared around. Doesn't really matter how much you put on, you can't put enough on. And then I'm going to put a bit on the base of it here, same underneath, and just on the treads as well for the nuts. So it's not like it'll help it unwind when it's driving, but so you snug it up and it doesn't come out, and then when you're going to undo the hardware and replace it with new hardware, it comes apart very easily then. But there shouldn't be any fear. It's not like the opposite of Loctite. That's not what it is. So it's not going to wind out while you're driving. Okay, I'm going to install this now. Okay, that's that one done. On, stay in. So I have to get this to go this way, to get this to come down, just everything to slide in. So might take a few attempts. I wonder if I had a pry bar. Or just faster hands. Bollocks. Okay, I'm this far now. So I have the 3 bolts back in. And just about to get the bottom ball joint back into the holder here. So the only way to get this in was pull the whole thing way down to here. Drop in the 3 bolts and slide it back up again. So it's an absolute awful job to do. And it's in. Okay, time to get the bolt in and tighten everything up. Okay, so I have the bolt, bit of copper grease on it. Push this up out of the way, put the bolt into there. Okay, time to bolt everything up and we're done. Okay, deadly. So that's new hardware all installed, all the way around. Everything is back tight, so they're tightened to about 8 uggers, and they're all tightened up. So yeah, time to get the wheel on. Ta-da! Okay, so the wheel's back on. Car looks good. So job is finished. So I do actually have another one. I bought 2. One for this side, obviously one for the far side. But such an awful job. I don't want to do it. Might do it tomorrow or some other night. But right now, car is done. I might do the far side tomorrow night. I'm not going to record it, but the car will also might have to be tracked. So I'll just check the tracking, and then she'll be all ready for the NCT. So guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. Support me in PayPal in the link below. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.